Welcome to Rainy Day Let's Play. I'm Solon, and this is the 21st episode of Borderlands 2. Last episode, we did a whole bunch of quest grabbing in Sanctuary, went to Overlook, and now we're gonna put up a shield for Overlook, which is super cool. We also talked about... I got off my high horse of talking about Angel, and I'm not talking about it anymore. Ever. I'm just... No. Not even gonna. And, oh, we also talked about quest systems and how it works in Borderlands 2 versus other games, because we picked up a whole bunch of quests, and it was kind of crazy.
Karima, you can't make us no techie shieldy thing. You's a woman. Now, if the town needs someone to make us a big old sandwich, then we call
Well, this has gone downhill
is appreciated, David.
very quickly. This is a perfect time to introduce a cool thing that I found the other day. Sweet! So apparently that's what's on the insides of shields, and when you grind them up, shield junk comes out, or something. It's science, and it sounds awesome. And it looks cool.
Gonna blow yourselves up. Better quit now.
Thank you for your
Dave, you are such a cynic.
Are dangerous and do not have cables.
Karima and I are gonna friggin' rock this thing.
Overlook shield is finished, and I would very much like your help testing it. Head to the Hyperion outpost nearby and get to the mortar cannon on the launch pad.
Hey, Karima. You know what's even better than having a working shield? Not being a woman.
Oh my god, shut up, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So, that actually transitions way nicer than I could have expected. One of a thing that I found yesterday, or not even yesterday, it was a couple weeks ago, there was a presentation in one of my classes about a thing called the Bechdel Test. Oh! Arms dealing is literally an arm. Okay, well, let's do this as fast as possible. I do not have high hopes. I doubt I'm going to get it in the first try, because I honestly have no idea where I'm going. Oh, crap, I think we're on the wrong quest. There we go. Okay, so I'm going the right direction, at the very least. Do want to drive off and go completely the wrong direction. Anyways, if you don't know what the Bechdel test is, Alison Bechdel, in about 1985 or so, with attribution to Liz Wallace, created a test in her long-running graphic novel Dykes to Watch Out For, which started in the 80s. It was a strong reaction to the kind of crap macho films that all came out in the 80s. And it is a blatantly simple test that many movies actually don't pass. So, the Bechdel test is 3 steps. 1, it has to have at least 2 named women in it. 2, who both talk to each other. 3, about something besides a man. It can just be any 2 important women who talk about anything that isn't a man, just anything at all. Completely, like, super high level. Realistically, if 50% of everyone is men and 50% of everyone is women, which is not the case, but for simplicity's sake, we'll go with that. Then realistically, in a film, especially, I mean, you go into cartoons, you go into digital things, it's a whole other story, but it should be pretty easy to cast about half and half, and write things that are about half and half, because that's the world we live in right now. Okay, I'm going to try to sneak up the side of the mountain, maybe that'll make it quicker. I don't know this area, so this is kind of my first look into this area is by having a race around it. Okay, this is already becoming a clusterfuck. Well, alright. This is already not going to be well past. I mean, every time I get a mailbox, it'll give me a little more time, but this is not so good. Dang it. Fetch quests that make me have to go fast. Not even fair. Anyways, about the Bechdel test. Interesting side notes. Every Lord of the Rings movie that has come out does not pass the Bechdel test. The only Star Wars movie that clearly passes all three without any problem is Episode 1. Not the first one, not A New Hope, but Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Inception passes on a technicality, despite the second female character being a subconscious projection of a man, and Ellen Page's conversation with Marion Cotillard's character subtextually entrenched in being about Leonardo DiCaprio and his character in the movie. There is not a live-action Batman movie that passed the test, which kind of makes sense. So yeah, it's not straight and narrow, or even with those three things, there's a lot of complexities to it. So now let's apply that to games. Oh, poor arms, I don't even fucking care. Whoa! Bad turrets. Okay, let's switch to this quest, since this is the reason we came up here. Go away, turrets. No. Stop doing that. Oh, they don't actually even do much damage. Turrets, do better at shooting me. Anyways, so the Bechdel test does not indicate quality of the production. It doesn't even qualify like how sexist or unsexist a production is, because you can have blatantly sexist productions that have women talking to each other, or the opposite. It's not like, oh, you didn't pass the Bechdel test, you're a crappy movie and you're not worth anyone seeing at all, ever. The only thing it really shows is it really shows a systemic problem that there are just more men than women represented in film. Case in point, the Coen brothers, in their filmography, have made 2 films that, without contention, pass the test. There's True Grit and Raising Arizona, which are about 25 years apart. Fargo really wants to pass all 3 tests, and practically does. There's a little bit of contention, not the biggest deal, but other side of it, get these guys out of here. Other side of it, the Wachowskis have only directed or produced 1 film that doesn't pass, Speed Racer. Whereas all the rest of them, the Matrix series, all 3 of them pass. And anything else that they've kind of put, most things that they put their hands on, but everything they've produced or directed does pass. And so it's interesting to be like, all right, 2 bros have trouble passing the test, yet a bro and a cis, a male to female transgender queer whole thing, a bro and a cis pass it like no problem at all. They just naturally do it, just because of, to be fair, their movies have huge scope, and so something to be said about that. But so yeah, it's a very interesting case and a very interesting way to look at games.
Well, I'll bet you if you asked nicely.
Score! Yes!
Now, let's try that with the shield on.
Excellent. Everything went better than expected. Let's reroute this mortar and try it again. And good riddance to Dave.
Please fire the cannon again.
Alright, second time's a charm. Alright, so when you apply the Bechdel test to video games, it has to have 2 named women in it who talk to each other about something besides a man. Yay, the shields work, nobody... Yeah, that's kind of obvious. And Dave is gone. Double plus win. Aw yeah. Just gonna walk around the badass loader, not even, you know, no big... Oh. Yeah, I was asking for that. Just gonna die, because the car is closer. I parked close to the respawn point. intentionally. Because screw living. So, video games make everything even more complicated when it comes to the Bechdel test. Which is weird. It shouldn't be, on the basis that passing it should be really easy. But then the other side is that when you talk about video games, you're talking about entirely virtual characters. You're talking about the player as the main character in the fiction. So everybody that's talking is going to be talking directly to the main character, which limits like NPC communication in a way that could make the test passing it harder or more useless or delegitimize it in some way, which is totally reasonable because we're kind of applying this to a completely different medium that it wasn't necessarily made for. The biggest thing, of course, is player gender flexibility and flexibility of gender outs and NPCs, and when you're creating virtual characters like a cartoon character or something, there's so many things you could do that completely denecessitate gender as
my favorite thing about Dave?
anything.
He's dead.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about Dave too. Didn't even know him, but I'm just friggin' excited that he's dead. Mass Effect, great thing to apply the Bechdel test to, and like stretch it. And Borderlands 2, I can talk about both those games and how the Bechdel test affects them on the next episode. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hang out for more stuff.